Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thomas Roman here with Gas, Oil, Diesel SEO. Thank you for your time today. This is a webinar on one of my favorite subjects in the entire world, actually, which is called SEO Engineered Web and Email Hosting. I'm really excited to share this with you today. We have a really informative presentation. So I'm going to give you the full history, but we've been doing web hosting for almost 25 years, and we started a business doing web hosting, hostroman.com, in 2007. And it was a journey, because what happened was we had, say at the time, 50 customers. And what happened was every one of them was on a different host with different access and different types of languages that we were using and different access. And it was really we were spending more time getting access to these sites on hold with different companies than we were actually doing work. So we decided we had to get our own hosting solution so we can get quick access. And the time we are working, we're doing valuable client-driven work. You have things that were making them, income and actually making a difference in their business of getting new customers. So today, I want to present to you what we learned in the past, say, 25 years in web hosting, and particularly in the last about 16, 17, since 2007, since we started Host Roman. And those are the same servers that we use for all our customers at Gas, Oil, Diesel. So without further ado, I'm going to start it up. And if you have any questions, we're going to have a Q&A session at the end. Please kindly feel free just to ask any questions you have, chat them in during the presentation, and we'll go from there. Looking forward to this meeting, this webinar, and thank you very much for being here today. And I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much. Here we go. Without further ado, I'm going to share my screen. So today's presentation is about SEO engineered website and email hosting, presented by myself, Thomas Roman. I'm president of Gas, Oil, Diesel SEO. And again, I always like to start these with a quick sip of coffee here. It's my hot beverage of choice. So the first thing we're going to go through here with this presentation is the internet-driven sales system. So this is the system that we built out with Gas, Oil, Diesel SEO. Gas, Oil, Diesel SEO is a company that focuses on digital marketing for fuel delivery companies. And the internet-driven sales system that we've developed hits every single cylinder of digital marketing in order to dominate your local search and to actually provide value to your audience, A, attract them, and B, retain them and have them referring others and be what are called champions of your business because you offer such great service. So we have gone through already the conversion-based website webinar, which you can find on our website, gasoildieselSEO.com. We went through the search engine optimization one, and today we're going to be on the SEO engineered website and email hosting one. So this is a webinar series. So we're going to start it up. So first thing that I wanted to say was the internet-driven sales system for fuel delivery and pumping companies book is now available. So this is a book that we put together specifically written for fuel delivery companies, explaining the internet-driven sales system. You can go to Amazon by searching the title, The Internet-Driven Sales System for Fuel Delivery and Pumping Companies by Thomas Roman. Or you can email me at thomas.roman@gasoildieselSEO.com, and I'll be happy to send you a copy either in the mail or a digital copy, whichever you prefer. So I'll be happy to do that for you. So just send me an email and I will send it out immediately. You'll get it. So you're here for a reason, and we're going to answer your questions. So I'm going to give you a history of our hosting business, and I'm going to explain to you the thorough, I don't even know if it's a word. It's so detail oriented what we created here with our hosting. I'm going to explain to you our company history. We're going to go through exactly what SEO hosting is. We're going to talk about search engine optimization again and how it relates to hosting. So basically, what does website hosting have to do with SEO? Because SEO is very important. What is managed hosting? What is the difference between SEO and ads? We're going to talk about that a little bit again, because I want to emphasize it in this particular webinar, because I want to really focus on the difference between SEO and ads. What is a webmaster and why do you need one? Why does reliable private email matter? Okay, we're going to talk about that. How can my website hosting make me return on my investment? So we're going to talk about that as well. So a little bit about me. My name is Thomas Roman. I have a mechanical engineering degree from Lehigh University, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I have a master's of business administration from Lehigh University. I worked at the iHook Institute for 4 years while there. I worked in corporate sales at Staples Business Advantage for several years, and along with many other jobs that I've had over the years. My first startup was New Flash in 1999. It was an athletic awards company. I founded Roman Media Group in 2005, founded Host Roman in 2007, and then founded Gas, Oil, Diesel SEO, the niche about which we're speaking now, the real successes we're seeing in this industry are amazing. So we started a business around that industry. So Host Roman's history. So we were founded in 2007, and our goal was excellence in web hosting. That was our mission statement. Host Roman was founded in 2007 and has grown to a leader in website hosting. What started as a solution, again, to consolidate hosting clients, transformed into an industry leader in private, reliable search engine optimization hosting. So we're going to talk about that today. So in 2008, we made the decision to be wind powered. And what that means is when you have a web server of these type that we're talking about, they cost about $2,000 a month. What happens is they use the same amount of energy as a Cadillac Escalade idling. So it's a lot. So we made the decision to power all of our servers with wind power. And that was a big decision we made, and we still hold true to that today. Just a side note, but it's so you know that your carbon footprint for your digital media is powered by the wind. So in 2010, we made another commitment to our environment, which we partnered with a company called Beaverbrook Nursery to plant 1 tree per year in the names of all of our hosting clients. And we planted basically tens of thousands of trees to this point, and we feel really great about that. So they say the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago, and the second best time is today, right? But we've been planting them for a while, and it's just a good feeling to know that they're in the environment. 2011, we focused on specifically WordPress hosting. So what does that mean? WordPress is the CMS we use, if you watched the last webinar on conversion, or 2 webinars ago, conversion-based websites. We talked about WordPress being the best content management system to use for SEO. There's a variety of plugins that it has, and it has many tools you can use for not only SEO, but to create really cool websites and really dynamic websites with really dynamite layouts. So before the 2011, we were hosting all kinds of different things, Joomla and different things like that. And what happened was we decided that we needed to focus on one. And WordPress at the time we thought was the best, and it was a good decision because now most websites are WordPress. So particularly marketing websites that want to be high on search. So that we made it. That's all we host now is our WordPress sites. 2014, we were working for many years with search engine optimization, and the team at Roman Media and Host Roman, we worked for years through trial and error in developing our industry leading. Yeah, our industry. Hey, I see somebody here is new persons here. Kate, hope you're having a great day. So we decided, we worked through years of trial and error in developing our industry leading search engine optimization practices, and went through every kind of Google algorithm change and every rule, and have seen it all. All this learning went into the engineering to the current engineered 100% reliable private and lightning fast SEO hosting services we offer. So that was a part of our history there, is how we got here and learning all this SEO stuff. 2018, migration to the best. So in 2018, we made a big decision where we spoke to all our email vendors, and we faced a lot of different things. So at the time, and a lot of companies still do this, where they have their web server with their email data and their web data running on one machine. And what happens is there's probably about 20 variables, including that part of it, in terms of the server being kind of mucked up with a bunch of data it doesn't need. So what we did, we went through a checklist of all of the things that we needed to improve our hosting environment. And we're going to go through those things now. But basically, we're going to call it the migration to the best, where we went just bananas on making sure everything was perfect with website hosting. So 2020 and beyond, we basically made a choice to just make hosting something that produces an ROI. And on the foundation of these new servers that we got, and one of the conversations we had with our hosting vendor was that they asked us what our budget was. And what we said was, we don't want to talk about budget. We want to build the absolute best servers that money can buy. So we upgrade our servers about every 18 months. And what we did, we came down to the new servers costing about $2,000 a month per server. And you might ask, what could you possibly have that is $2,000 a month? You can go to the store and buy a computer for $1,000. Can't that be a server? What could possibly cost that much? You can get a dedicated server for $200, $179. I see them online all the time. Well, just like you have a Yugo and you have a Bugatti, say, as cars, or you have a pickup truck, a little Toyota pickup truck, the little small one, and you have a tractor trailer, they do the same thing. They do. You can put a yard of mulch in the back of a Toyota pickup truck. You can put 100 yards of mulch, maybe not 100, maybe 40 yards of mulch in a giant tractor trailer. So they do the same thing, but they're different. And that's what engineered web hosting is, hosting with an ROI. On the backbone of your website, having everything perfect, and the reason I put a watch there, like a Swiss watch, and everything is working perfectly, it basically hits all of the different things Google needs on its algorithm in order for your site to have the proper backbone necessary to dominate search. And this is where the ROI comes in. When you have hosting that's perfect and every variable's hit, you have the SSL, you have the fastest site possible, you have a site that is clean, meaning not hacked, and a clean IP neighborhood, that's where your hosting itself produces an ROI because it's jumping you up several spots in the search results with Google. And we're going to get really into that in a moment. Okay, so this comes in, that's a little bit of our history about how we got here. And I just want you to know it's very thorough what we did in order to kind of learn all these things about SEO hosting and why it's one of my favorite subjects, because we really invested in it and we perfected it. And unless you really see what's involved in it, it might be hard to understand. So SEO hosting is website hosting specifically designed and engineered to max out all the hosting variables for maximum search engine ranks for a website. These variables will be described in depth later. By firing on all cylinders for your search strategy, you essentially make the platform of search engines all your platform for customers to find you. Meaning, if there's a search engine and people put in keywords, they're going to find your company. Okay, very important. Moore's law states that technology basically doubles every 2 years, which is why it's so important to really think about where your website resides and if your website hosting is costing you your SEO rank. So so this is the thing about the ROI. And again, in life, you can't stay still. You're either growing or you're going the other direction. The idea is that you can't just leave your site on an old server because it will actually hurt your SEO rank and cost you money, as opposed to something you have on the correct server, something that's upgraded regularly that's going to actually get you higher in rank. So it's a very important thing to delineate with your hosting. And this is why our company, Host Roman, automatically upgrades clients to the newest, fastest servers about every 18 months. And that's all great, but what's under the hood? Okay, let's see. Ready? So our servers, fundamentals, and specifications. And this is our company. And I recommend whoever you host with that you really look into this. So this is one of our servers, but processors and Intel, this is a little bit techie, bear with me. Dual Xenon Gold 622R, 6226R, 256 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte hard drives backed up with a RAID. And basically we run Linux with cPanel WHM. We have multiple code locations, meaning they're backed up remotely. We have uplinks, multiple uplinks with different internet providers with 1 gigabit plus up and down, meaning uploads and downloads, and secure socket layer protection on all sites or under the SSL. And this is what is under the hood, okay? And the reason I'm putting all this here is because this is a $2,000 a month server you're looking at. And the reason our sites are at the top of Google is because I believe, I'm not even kidding, this is just an estimate, but about 30% of our ranking is because of our hosting and because it's just so clean and so fast and so beautiful. So what is a secure socket layer? So from the tech terms, an SSL encrypts the data being transmitted so a third party cannot eavesdrop on the transmission and view the data being transmitted. Only the user's computer and secure server are able to recognize the data. So it's encryption. SSL keeps your name, address, and credit card information between you and the merchant while you're providing it. Without this kind of encryption, online shopping will be far too insecure to be practical. When you visit a website starting with HTTPS, the S indicates the website is secure. These websites often use SSL certificates to verify their authenticity. Without an SSL, you significantly decrease your chances of being found on Google. SSLs were made mandatory as of 2018 for all browsers, and they've always been mandatory for e-commerce. So then if you have an e-commerce site, you always need one of these. It was a specification or one of the prerequisites to getting an authorized.net or other type of merchant account. And we offer permanent SSLs for each website we host. And there's no way you can be on the web without an SSL. There's just too many benefits, and the cost of not having it in terms of trust, search engine rank, and security are just tremendous. You need to have one. So we include it on every single site we host. And this is an example. So if you go to a site that's not secure, it'll say not secure. This is not secure. See, it has a not secure. And then it has HTTPS. It says secure, that little lock there. So you want to make sure you have that lock. Very, very important. Let me just see here if I have any chats coming through. I'm just going to keep this open. If anyone has any chats, please feel free. I'm just going to look over there. So separation of web and email servers. Okay, this is very, very important. Why separate web and email systems? This is just the backbone of what SEO hosting is. When you want to rank on Google, why you have to follow certain things. One, server speed. Hard drive space is mission critical. Think of your own computer when your hard drive is full. You can't do anything on it. It like stops working. It's impossible to use. So when you have a hard drive with a lot of open space, the computer's faster, whether it's a web server or a local computer. Think of your computer, again, your computer or your phone. When your iPhone or your Droid is full, you can't even use it. Email is on a separately engineered systems that are 100% reliable, private, industrial grade, and scalable. So what that means scalable is if you have a web server and you have, say, 10 email addresses on there, and each of those email addresses has 50 gigs in its inbox, which isn't uncommon, that's 500 gigs for those 10 users. So if you have an email server that has maybe 4 terabytes of hard drive space, that one customer is going to eat up, say, 1/8 of the space on that server. And you can only host like 8 or 10 people on that server. It doesn't make any sense because you would want to have more than 8 to 10 people. So what you do, you take the email off of the web server and you put it on a separate server. And what that does, it allows the email to be scalable. And we're going to talk about that in a minute, what those email options are. But you separate it onto a different system, Microsoft Exchange and different IMAP systems that allow the web server to only do websites or called web applications. And basically what it means is your website is running on a blazing fast, and your email just works. Both are 100% uptime under permanent high-level SSLs, both your email and your web hosting. So email, you also require an SSL. That means it creates that same tunnel that no one can look into when you send and receive emails. In the past, we've experienced clients' email going down, and it's just a total waste of time and money. So we don't literally emails. We're going to talk about that more in a minute. But when you get it right, it's a pleasure. When you don't have it right, it's really not a pleasure. So we're big on getting the emails right. The next thing we want to do is talk about embedded media. So embedded media means incorporating videos in your website. So this is the thing. We're going to talk about how to embed videos and why to embed them using platforms like Vimeo and YouTube. So the idea is that you want to have videos on your site, but you don't want to have those videos hosted on your server. So whenever you have a video, these are fundamentals, but I just want to really explain it because this is an in-depth deep dive into this topic. We want to embed the video for marketing purposes on YouTube. So if you're going to have a video you want to be found for on search, etc., that goes on YouTube. If you want a video that is more private, where they can only view it on your website, and those are used for educational purposes, etc., you put those on Vimeo. Okay, and Vimeo has something called domain-specific URLs, which it only plays on your website. So if you had a login on your website, the only place that video can be found, theoretically, if you had it behind the login, would be behind the login, so behind the curtain, so to speak. So if someone logs in, they get to the video after they log in, and it can't be found anywhere else online. Where YouTube's a lot different. YouTube, the video will be found on search, or it can be found on a private link, so it's going to be public. So there's different types of embedding you want to do for your videos based on the goals of that video. So again, to summarize, marketing videos go on YouTube and Rumble and these type of public sites, where Vimeo is a really niche specific high quality video hosting platform that allows you to play the videos first in high res. I mean, YouTube does that too, but also behind the curtain. So that's why you would do that for some kind of subscription website or some content you'd want to maybe have for only training purposes in your company or something like that. Benefits to SEO. So we're going to have improved load speed because the video is embedded. It's not being loaded on the website itself. It's embedded. So when you hit play, then it pulls that bandwidth from YouTube or Vimeo, not from your web server. It's an enhanced user experience because Vimeo and YouTube offer very fast playbacks. You're not going to compromise the bandwidth on your server. Better mobile compatibility. So videos on these platforms are automatically optimized for various mobile users, etc. So reduced bandwidth usage. Again, talking about that it's not going to put a strain on the server. Enhanced video SEO. So again, YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, right behind Google. So the idea is that if you have it on YouTube and it's a marketing video, you will not only show up on Google's listings, you'll also show up in YouTube's listings. And a lot of times the YouTube videos are in Google's search engine results pages at the very top, which is really cool. Embedded videos can also attract inbound links, and they boost your site's authority and SEO, which we talked about in the last webinar, the SEO webinar, which is on the gasoildiesel.seo.com site. the full webinar. How to embed videos. So we're going to copy the embed code provided by Vimeo or YouTube and paste it into your website HTML. Once you're logged into a WordPress site, you can just see how to do that. You just literally copy the embed code, you paste it, and then when you publish the page, the video shows up. So it's pretty simple. We help our customers most of the time with the embedding of it. But this is why it's important to separate the embedded media. So getting back to email, a friend of mine once said, who owns an IT company, goes, "You don't pay me enough to support your email." And this is an actual quote from a friend with an IT company. We've solved all the email issues that make email hard, both for us and our clients. The time savings, business continuity, and quality of life increases they're just immense. So when you get email right, email shouldn't be a problem. It should be something that's fun and enjoyable. So you just pick up your phone, it's there, you get on your computer, it's there. It's a part of your life. It shouldn't be a problem. And for a lot of companies, it is a problem. There are many variables to remember when dealing with email. The SSL we talked about, server quota, spam, blacklisted server neighborhood, domain expiration, other spam violation, different email systems, etc. cPanel email versus Exchange. So there's a lot to consider. And again, the checklist that we made when we solved all these problems, we're going to talk about in a moment. Privacy. Now, this is a big deal. So one of the things that we do with our email systems is guarantee privacy. So most large email providers, they track you, even if you pay. So meaning they have real live human beings reading your messages and sending ads to you based on your emails. Don't believe me? Do your own research. So if you have business mission, if it's just a social email, you don't really care about it, no big deal. But if you're doing business and you want privacy, it's important that you get a vendor who has email privacy. So just a thing to do. And I'm not going to mention who does that, but you just have to really understand that that's happening with email. And then do you want to have all your email read and possibly released to the public, WikiLeaks, etc.? This is the type of reason why, is that you just have to, if you want private email, you have to start from the beginning getting private email. Now this is some super nerd stuff here. So POP, IMAP, and Exchange. So basically, I'm not going to go too into this. You can read it if you want. You can get the replay of this. But the big kind of email systems are going to be POP3, which downloads the messages to your server, IMAP, which synchronizes the messages with your server and your device, but only does email. Then you have Exchange, okay? And Exchange is what's called a premium email solution that synchronizes contacts, calendars, emails, and notes. So what happens is you get an exact copy everywhere you are. So if your computer falls in a river, you don't lose anything. You also are syncing your contacts and your calendar, which is really nice. Google Workspace also does this, which is another premium solution, just like Exchange. A little different though in how it syncs with Outlook, etc. So it has a little bit different application. The next thing is IMAP and Exchange on the same MX record. So what we do for a lot of customers is IMAP accounts cost about $5 each, where Exchange costs about $15 each. So you might have basically 2-3 users that need Exchange, that usually kind of are the owners of a company, or somebody like a director in a company might have an Exchange account where they need to sync emails or doing meetings. Then the rest of the company just needs email, where they're just getting emails, tasks, etc., sent to them. So you don't want to be paying as a company. Say you have, 20 email addresses, but you only need, 2 of them on Exchange. So that's $30. Then you have 18 others that are going to only need $5 accounts. So what we do is we have what's called split domain routing, which enables you to have some IMAP and some Exchange. So the idea is that it allows you to get your email bill way down. So you're not spending, if you were doing, 20 emails at $15 each, that'd be $300. Where if you did only 2 emails, that'd be at Exchange, that'd be 30, and then you'd have 18, which is almost 100. So for like $110, you would have the same email solution as you would for 300 with another company. So we're big on that, making sure that we give people that option so their email bill isn't out of control. The next, email specification. So with what we offer at our company, we do Outlook, webmail, and mobile access, 100% uptime guarantee, just huge inboxes, 25 gigs for IMAP, Exchange is 100 gig, and unlimited aliases, group lists, etc., which a lot of companies don't do that. They give you a couple aliases and they charge you for the rest, if you can even do them. Easy free migrations, premium anti-spam and antivirus, easy setup wizard included. Okay, enough tech talk. Okay, how does all this affect my SEO? Now, this is my favorite part of it. So that's the back end of what SEO hosting is. It's a server environment that separates all of what I call static data, email and regular data, which we're going to get into in a moment here, Dropbox, etc. But that's all off server, call it. Then you get to the web server, and all it is blazing fast websites that are running there, which is imperative for the Google speed algorithm, the security algorithm, making sure your site isn't hacked and sending spam to people, and having what's called a clean IP neighborhood. So your IP address is a clean one with a great reputation. These are all the digital assets and how your hosting is affected by them. So what is search engine optimization? We talked about this in depth in the last webinar. Again, it's on gasoildieslseo.com under webinars, full recorded versions. But we're going to go through the basic fundamentals here because this is SEO engineered web hosting. So search engine optimization is the art of increasing organic search rank, and this is done through several key components. Website components, again, we're doing a brief overview here for the total and complete webinar. Go back to the last one. The website components are the keywords, content, clean website, not hacked, which we just talked about, lean website coding, mobile responsiveness, unique information. So having good content strategy. Server components, server speed, uplink speed, and volume capacity, meaning if you go on a show, we had a customer go on Ellen DeGeneres once, and they got millions of hits within a couple hours. And basically they were fine. The website didn't even blink. So it was perfect. A lean server state, which is what we talked about before, getting the email off of the application server and also the data off. Any data would be FTP, file transfer protocol information that we use now. You use Dropbox or Google Drive for that. You want to have an SSL, secure socket layer, and you want your IP reputation, the neighborhood where your website resides, to be good. So you don't want to be on a server with 10,000 websites where 9,995 of those websites are hacked because it's not managed. No one's looking at the website and patching them when the patch comes out. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the idea, you want to make sure that when people are visiting your site, they're not getting malware because that's worse than the site going down. When your site goes down, you lose your SEO. If it goes down for more than a week, it's done. And if you're hacked, Google totally removes it from the index to keep their users safe. So you have to make sure you have a managed WordPress site if you host with WordPress. And then the load speed of the website. How fast does it load? This is one of the big criteria. We have a Google tool we use to test this, of making sure the website is coded in a way and on a back-end server that makes it as fast as humanly possible, giving us a high website load speed score. Off-site components, and we talked about this in depth in our last webinar, but quality links and traffic, quality links, backlinks, and traffic along those links. Traffic sources are profile creations, microblogging, content submissions, content promotion, Cura and other web forums, questions and answers, document sharing, social bookmarking, infographics, Web 2.0 submissions, ping submissions, Web 2.0 promotions, guest posting promotions, blog submissions, social media postings that all lead to your website, what we call link wheel, where all those, you create a good piece of content on your blog and you put a thumbnail with a good title, with a good hook that gets someone to want to click on it, building curiosity. You post that with a link to the website, to the blog, and when they click it, they travel along it. The quality of the content leads to the quality of the traffic or the volume of traffic. So that's the basics of search engine optimization. Now, what does website hosting have to do with search engine optimization? Okay, website hosting is the backbone of your digital business. And this is what I want to really hammer in this webinar today, that if you haven't thought about it, this is the time to think about it. WordPress is the most used and best, in our opinion, content management system for SEO. What that means is we install a content management system called WordPress on your domain name, and then we build that content management system into a website and then install the necessary plugins in order for you to be optimized for your search engine optimization. Those plugins we make sure that the plugins have the proper title tag, the proper meta description tag, and the proper body text with keyword density of 3 to 5%, meaning if there's 100 keywords, your keyword is in there 3 times. If there's 300 keywords, it's in there about 9 to 15 times. But we make sure it's not what's called keyword stuffed, where we have 20% keyword density. That does not work. So the idea, we recommend WordPress for that and installing the plugins properly. And we specialize only in managed WordPress hosting. And WordPress has a core software and plugins that have to be updated to prevent hacking. And we actively use another plugin called WordFence to let you know when your site needs an update and proactively update it and test it for you. So I want to just talk about that. This bullet is very, very important for a website, what's called managed WordPress hosting. Wherever you are, whoever you host with, you have to ask them these questions. This is like a little bit of an audit for you just to think about for your digital backbone, we'll call it. So when you have a WordPress site that is not patched, what happens is WordPress, just like your iPhone, you will have updates on the software, and you have to update the software in order to have the most recent security patches, because in those patches, they discovered a vulnerability, and that's where hackers can get in and hack the site and do bad things, where they could steal your information, they could download malware to your end user, they can just mess up your site for the fun of it. But there's a whole market around selling these hacks. WordPress hackers have databases or lists of sites that are hacked or have vulnerabilities. So what happens is, as soon as that vulnerability is known, we know about it through WordFence, and we patch it, so which makes your site secure, and we do a test to make sure it's secure. And we've literally, in our whole business, a whole history of business, which you just learned about, have only been hacked a handful of times. And the reason why, maybe once every 2-3 years. And when we have it, we know about it immediately because of the WordFence, but we test it. And if there is something that got in there, we do a clean version of the site, brand new version of the site with all the data, with what's called the last known good backup. It's a last known good backup, but it's a clean version of the site. And we install any content updates to make it secure when it's secure again. So the point I'm getting at is you have to be on this. If you don't, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And if your site is hacked, you will be decimated in SEO. It's like your website going down, but worse. You have to actually apply to let Google know that you fixed your site. It's a whole process. And the whole time you're down, you're not being indexed and you're just deleted from Google. So it's imperative for SEO, because it takes years to get there, and then one hack could take it down for years. It's really, really serious. And here at our company, we back up your site 3 times, and the rare it gets hacked, we use the last known good backup and have it running in moments. Again, a hacked website tanks your rank by blacklisting it, and it will stop traffic. And other hosts don't even touch a website in the event of a hack. It's very rare that you get hosts that do that. And it's hard to even understand what's happening with a hack. It's really almost impossible to fix. You have to go back to an old version of the site because you don't know what happened to it. There's so many lines of code, so much in there that it's easier going back to a clean version, patching it, and then redoing the content. And every site on our servers is managed, and this leads to that what's called safe neighborhood, IP neighborhood, Internet Protocol address. It's called IP neighborhood. So the sites that are on or around this IP neighborhood are safe, and that's a big deal for the credibility. So what's the difference between SEO and ads? And we talked about this a little bit last week, and we're just going to use this as an example for one of our gas clients. It's a specialty gas client. So this search here, and I'm going to just read what's on the left here. Frank B. Robinson once wrote, "Advertising is educating the public to who you are, where you are, and what services you have to offer. The only person who should not advertise is the one who has nothing to offer." When you look at a search engine result and see the word ad next to the listing, that means it's an advertisement. 85% of people don't click on the ads when they're searching on Google. And I'll tell you why in a minute. The most effective modern form of advertising is search engine optimization. And you got to ask yourself, where do you go to find something when you look for a service? Most of us go to our phone or to our computer, go into a search engine, usually Google, and type in the keyword set, and boom, what pops up? And this is a sample search. So I did the search of seedling delivery, Alpine, New Jersey. So this is for gas, oil, diesel, and this is a gas client. What happens here, these are ads here. So again, people don't trust them because if it's easy, everyone does it. I can throw a credit card down and I could be serving for ads instantly. As soon as my budget is gone, my ad disappears, and what shows up are the organic listings. And basically, this is an example of what's called a featured snippet, which I think is way even better than an ad, because it's showing that this company, our customer, SOS Gases Inc., that they're doing all the right things and that they are the featured company about people looking for acetylene in Alpine, New Jersey, in that town. And we're going to explain how that happens in a minute. What's the difference between SEO and ads? Continue. Again, once your ad budget runs out, your ad disappears. Although ads may be necessary when starting in order to get some initial traction, as your rank increases, you can stop paying for ads for keywords that are ranking high organically. But you have to track your ranks. That means, so you might start and say, hey, I have 10 keyword goals. I'm going to pay for ads for all of those. But then all of a sudden, 6 of those keyword goals are ranking at number 1. Now I can remove those 6 from my paid efforts, and then I'm only now looking for 4. We've done this many times where we had one customer start with an ad budget of $500,000 a month, and by the time within 18 months, we got them down to $2,500 a month paid ads and tripled the revenue. That company was just sold to another big brand, and really great success story for us. It was a really, really great thing. So many agencies don't have the experience on how to properly perform organic SEO. So they sell people on ad management and the fee that is percentage of the ad spend. And this is, to me, whatever. Everyone has their own way to run a business, and if it works for them, God bless them. But we don't recommend that. Okay. SEO, provided you continue the content development with quality links and traffic, will always index. And there's no tricks here. There's no, really don't have to worry about Google algorithm changes, because you're doing all what's called white hat efforts. And an SEO acts as a 24/7, 365, and it's always up. So meaning that it never disappears. There's no budget to run out. And you're showing up when people are actually looking for the service when they need it. And I wrote here, but wham, there you are. You're right there. You're driving down the street and you're like, I need a roof for my house. I'm going to type in roofing, and boom, a big billboard pops up. That's what's happening here. Or in our case here, I'm going to type in heating oil in a certain town, and boom, a big billboard pops up, and we're right there. And we're going to talk about how that happens. So a billboard, again, may be seen 10,000 times a day, a real one on the street, an outdoor advertising billboard, but only 1 out of that entire audience actually needs that service. And the price you pay for the billboards is obscene. I know around here, there's one billboard that's $7,000 a month, which is amazing. I don't know, it's amazing. So I'd like to see the return on investment of that. So how many times have you purchased from a billboard, a print ad or a television or radio ad? How many times have you purchased after a Google search? These are questions to ask yourself. So this is another sample of one of our clients. This is a mason. And when you type in Mason, Alpine, New Jersey, just using that term because it's an affluent area around here. So this is an example. So what happens is when we type this in at different times, this is different times a day, we have here, there's 2 ads. This ad here, and this ad here. And then these are the organic ones right here. So this is our customer, Lovato.com. You type it in another day, so this ad still shows up. This guy or this company's ad ran out, their budget ran out, so they disappeared, they're gone. So now this is right here, this is the company right here. Now you search it again another day, another moment later, and what do you get? You get them at the top because both of their ads ran out. This guy, these people, and this people. And this is another day. So we type it in again, and here's this one again. So this company here, which is great, an ad shows up number 1, but boom, a moment later, that ad budget ran out and the organic is there. And ask yourself your own behavior. What is the behavior of yourself or people you know or your customer base? Where are they searching? And from my experience with people that I've asked this question, and just statistically, it's usually a search engine on their phone. So Google feature snippet. So what does it mean when you show up in what we call the pole position? So it means authority, authority, authority. So again, if it's easy, everyone does it. So you have an ad up there, it means you have a credit card, it means you have some money. Anyone could do that, right? Anyone could have a credit card and put a Google ad up. It's very easy. What does it mean when you organically show up, and particularly show up in what's called a featured snippet above the local rank and above the local and above the organic, right? Usually below the ads. So it means authority, authority, authority. It's a big authority indicator. And Google gets close to 90% of search traffic. It's very important to understand. You want to have what's called cross search engine optimization, but you also want to have it so you're focused on Google. If you pay for a Google ad, usually, unless you're in the ad network where you're in other search engines, it usually only shows up on Google. Google shows featured snippets on their search results explaining a product or service from the results of a properly SEO'd website. Very important to realize, and we're going to show this in a moment. These featured snippets only happen when a website does everything right, is number 1 on Google, and has been a known source that answers the search query with good, relevant answers and content. Very important. This is a part of the authority. It's such a good site that Google's saying this is the benchmark for this service, for the keyword phrase you just typed in. These are the people. And if you want good information, go to this website. It's a very big deal. And these are infinitely more valuable than ads because they display your authority and only show up when all SEO factors are properly set up and running. Very important, okay? Here's an example of it. Regenerative medicine, Trenton, New Jersey. So this is called a featured snippet. So you Google it and you see a featured snippet both on mobile and also on desktop, okay? So from here, that's a feature snippet. It comes up above the local search saying this is a company that does this properly. So here's another one, thyroid health, Denville, New Jersey. You type it in, there's a featured snippet there, and you see the above the local, you see it above local, and you see it as a featured snippet. So that's really kind of cool. Okay, really, really nice, kind of cool, but really cool. And this client also does ads. This is another gas client. You type in a Diesle distributor, Nutley, New Jersey. You see the featured snippet. Now, this is above the number one rank, okay, because they're number one here. And above that is the featured snippet. So again, one rank, two ranks. And then also on local, on mobile, they're getting the featured snippet as well. And they have two ranks. The number one, which is a featured snippet, and then one below it, which is the normal organic rank. Okay, local listings with number one organic. So although a business needs an address to show up in local listings, if you do all the things right from an SEO perspective, you can index on local listings, even if you don't have an address there. This is very important to realize. And we talked about, we're going to talk about this more in one of our next webinars, which is going to be citations and map listings, but we're going to touch on it here. But one little itty bitty detail that was not addressed, unknown, or overlooked could tank your SEO strategy. These seemingly small items are found in the details. Obviously, the big ones, keywords, links, and traffic, but especially the server specs on which the site is hosted, e.g. site speed, how lean and clean the site is, and if it's under SSL, the IP reputation, all the things we're talking about today. But those itty bitty details, that's where this minutia is that will just either get you to the top or will keep you from getting to the top. Very important. And our goal, and I say this in the book, The Internet-Driven Sales System, our goal is to win, and not for us to win, but for our clients to win. Because being number one on Google is huge, and you make money from it, right? You make a lot of money from it. And it's been said that being on page 2 of Google, it's like you don't even exist. And ask yourself, when was the last time you went to the page 2 on Google? These are just really good questions. And what is it worth to your business to be number one everywhere people look? Like, you're in front of everyone's face, everywhere you go. And if you've ever seen The Greatest Showman, and one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when he goes, I want it to be everywhere. And then like one scene, all the banners drop on front of the buildings. I love that scene. And the reason why is that's what it's like when you are number one organically in SEO. And that cost him a fortune back then, not to mention how much it will cost now. As you know, New York City is so expensive for any billboards. But that's all different type of advertising for big companies for branding purposes. What we're talking about is tactical, getting customers to the door, getting phones ringing, and getting trucks running. And what difference would it make if you had more customers, right? So if you're number one, it's going to translate to more customers. Phones ringing, more customers, etc. So here's some examples of SOS gases. This is for Hoboken, New Jersey, for several searches. So, Hoboken, New Jersey, SOS gases, number one locally. And Nutley, number one locally, with a local listing, right? And they're in Kearney. This is another example, Newark, New Jersey, they were number one locally. I think this is Short Hills, number one locally and organically. Again, number one locally and organically. These are local listings, map listings. And then Edgewater, this is just 2 double listings for what's called so a double listing here, number 1 and number 2. So this is what you get when you do SEO properly. It's domination. This company is crushing it. So yes. So what is cross search engine optimization? So yes, Google gets most of the traffic. That is true. So the best practice of SEO, ensure that your site shows up on all search engines. A lot of people still use Bing and DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, AOL, Ask Jeeves, and others. An ad will only show up on the search engine for which the ad was purchased, unless you buy an ad on a platform that shows up on all search engines, in which case your money is spent even faster. So if you have an ad that's showing up everywhere, people are going to be clicking on it, and and then literally your ad's going to be gone in moments. So, and the way an ad is usually broken up, if you have a $10,000 ad spend, it'll usually be $300 a day. So if they click through by 9 a.m., the ad disappears the rest of the day. Or organic SEO, it's going to show up 24/7, 365. Properly performed SEO shows up across all search engines. When you have all your cylinders firing properly, your site will dominate on all search engines as well. Very important. You want to do this in a way that shows up everywhere, what we call white hat. So it's very important. Let's look at a sample search. So Diesle distributor, Newark, New Jersey, across all the various search engines: Google, Google Mobile, Bing, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, AOL, Ask Jeeves, and Yahoo Mobile. So here they are. It's a little bit cluttered, I know, but bear with me. Here, the first one, Diesle distributor, Newark, New Jersey. So we have here SOS Gases right up there with the biggest billion-dollar companies, Praxair. Number 1 right here ahead of Praxair, organically. Very important, okay? Because they don't have an actual address there, right? So really important. So we're going to do, next one is going to be Google Mobile. Here they are, Practice Air SOS, and then SOS is above them and above them here as well. Very important, organically, number one. This is Bing. Bing, number one organically, Newark, New Jersey. Next, Yahoo Mobile. Let's see, this is an ad. You see a little ad here? And then number one, who's there? SOS Gases Inc. The next one, DuckDuckGo. So here, see the distributor, Newark, New Jersey. The first one is an ad. The second one is SOS Gases. The third one's SOS Gases. So they have a double ranking below the ad, which is imperative. AOL, here we go. Newark, New Jersey, see the distributor. Ad here. And then here we have SOS Gases number one. And then also number 5 right here. So we have them in a couple places in the top 10. So, but they are number one, very important. And Ask Jeeves. So first, this is an ad here, Airgas, right? Second one is an ad here and now. Third one is an ad here. And then the number one web result, which is called organic, is SOS Gases. Now, this is a very industrial town, Newark, New Jersey City. One of the biggest cities in New Jersey, might be the biggest city in New Jersey. And this customer is dominating for acetylene in these, and for other ones as well, for carbon dioxide, for nitrogen delivery, for distributor, for all the keywords. And this is the idea, what's called cross search engine optimization. Let's look at another sample, acetylene distributor, Nutley, New Jersey. Okay, so this is the same, you might say that's Newark, great, you did it one town. If you look at any town in North Jersey, you'll see similar results. But here we go again, Nutley, New Jersey, a featured snippet. Here, this is, and then from here, the featured snippet, they're number one on Google, above local, okay, very important. Google Mobile, above local, number one and number two, because the featured snippet's there. Bing, number one. Yahoo Mobile, this is an ad, number one here, organically, and number two. Number 4, so there's 3 times in the top 10. And then the student distributor, here they are, this is DuckDuckGo, this is an ad, number 1 here, number 2. Yep, so number 1 and 2, and a student distributor, Nutley, New Jersey, number 1, number 2, number 3. This is on AOL, so they're top 3 there, which is ridiculous. And then we have here ask.com, we have an ad, and then number 1 web result is SOS. So I'm showing you this because this is what you get. And we call this SEO domination. And in the title of the book, we talk about domination, and it's not a term to use lightly, not saying it because it's like, oh, we're gonna go dominate. No, we're in business. We're in business to win. We're in business to get new customers, to serve them properly. Why? So we can make money in order to live our life goals. And that could be sending our kids to college, it could be paying our mortgage, it could be a car payment, it could be a vacation home, it could be going on a couple of vacations a year with our family, but to have the income to be comfortable. And when we are in business, we want to bonus our team. We want to keep everyone happy, keep the wheels flowing, keep the trucks running, and keep our customers happy. And the way to do that is by getting new customers. And this is what we're talking about. So we call this SEO domination. So there are a lot of great agencies in the world, and with good intentions. You need to get one that has you getting new customers as your number one goal, not fancy design awards, social media links, etc. Social media likes, all that stuff is great for traffic, but the key is it has to get results. You need people who know how to market and convert. Interns and entry-level people are good to have working with you in many ways, just not as the person responsible for your frontline SEO. And I say this humbly, but we have people, we've done thousands of sites over the years and have thousands of customers. The idea is that you can't just hand the keys over to your most important for your business's marketing to someone who doesn't have experience in these different facets. And I say this humbly, but we've had it happen where customers have said, hey, my cousin's nephew or my nephew is going to be getting into this. He just studied it in college. I'm going to give him my website to do. And they didn't do things right, and their ranks tanked, and they lost millions a month in income. No exaggeration. And it makes me want to cry. But when they came back to us, and we got them back within like a 6-month period, but they lost millions and almost went out of business from it. So it's imperative. And if your agency is simply running ads for you and charging commission based on your ad spend, ask them to get you on page 1 of Google and be number 1. If they hesitate or can't show you customers doing it already, don't waste your time waiting for them. Okay, and I say this humbly, I'm not trying to sell anything here, but the idea is whether it's us or somebody else, don't let someone learn on your dime. It's your business. If they haven't done it yet, they're not going to do it. Okay, so that's the thing. This is a lot of work doing this stuff, but you have to get a company and people in place that are hungry, that are ready to do the work, that have experience doing the work, and are going to get you there and getting results and getting income from your marketing efforts. And what are those results? Increased customers and a multiple of revenue from what you're doing now. So we have about 5 minutes left. I'm going to go through these next slides pretty quickly, but a webmaster, do you need one? We're talking about hosting here. So, and this is really covered in depth in the book, Internet-Driven Sales for Fuel Delivery Companies. But yeah, you need a webmaster. A webmaster is someone who's going to make sure your website is up, it's running, and that all of the different variables are properly accounted for, and all the cylinders are firing properly. So very important you have someone managing your website who has experience. So you do need that one. And also the admins on the servers, all that stuff. They're all part of the webmaster team, if you will. What is webmastering? You will continue. So make sure all your digital assets are online. Managed hosting is problem prevention. So ensuring that your website is not holding you back, but is making you money. Perform search engine malware scan. So making sure when a person visits your site, it's actually up and running and not downloading viruses to their computer, because that's not a good way to get customers to infect their computer with viruses. So perfect programming. You want to make sure your site is lean and that the pictures are optimized properly, the pages are lean, and the front pages are not heavy with embedded code. You want your home pages and the main pages of your site to be, boom, lightning fast. Then when someone's going to go into your site or into a funnel where videos are loading, then from there, you have those on secondary pages. But your primary, what are called main navigation pages, are going to be lean and clean and load very quickly with what we call perfect programming. So a paradigm shift. So I bought a little automower for my house. It took me, I used to own a landscaping company. It took me about 4 hours to cut my front lawn. And I bought one of these little lawn mowers. It's called an automower. And now my lawn, it looks like a golf course all the time. This is a picture of it. So it was, just a decent sized lawn. And what happened is it's always perfect now. And it's a paradigm shift from what I did before, thinking of my lawn as something I had to work on really hard and be out of breath and all that stuff of working hard on the lawn. As we live a little bit elevated in the mountains, to something that looks perfect all the time. And we also have chickens, which eat all the ticks. So now our outdoor experience is one of enjoying life. And the reason I put that in here is because that's what happens when you get the right hosting and the right SEO for your website. Your website becomes, every day the phone keeps ringing. It keeps ringing, 14, 15, 16 new customers a day. And all of a sudden, you're going to scale your organization to handle these new people. But the paradigm shift is seeing your website as a revenue generating asset rather than an online brochure. And trust in mission critical operations. One of the things with SEO web hosting is making sure your website and your email are secure and you can trust them and your customers can trust them. Conclusion. So we offer at Host Roman, our hosting company, we offer done for you solutions. So you call us, we take care of everything. And basically, we encourage you to run your business and let us kind of handle the digital assets or whoever that manager is for you. Not trying to sell you. This is a webinar, but to have, if you have any questions, please check out hostroman.com is our hosting website, or email me directly at thomas.roman@gasoildieslseo.com. We have a few minutes left here, about 3 minutes. And if anyone has any questions, if you can type them in, I want to really thank you for your time. I'm very grateful. And again, this is symbolic. You have a good team that is running your website like a Swiss watch. So if you have any questions, thank you for your time. I hope this webinar had some value, and I'm looking forward to it. So here it is. So I just had a question. It says, is SEO engineered website hosting suitable for all types of websites? So are there specific websites and industries that can do better than others? I mean, I think every website on the internet should, if you want to use it as a tool for marketing and you want to get high on Google, yes, you need to have your web hosting be as fast, as lean, and as secure as possible. Secure with the SSL and secured with managed hosting. So I think every business who is marketing, and I think every business should be marketing, because you're either marketing and growing and doing sales or you're not, should be on SEO hosting. So absolutely. So next one, thank you for that compliment for the amazing webinar. That's really awesome. If the website's ranking on search results starts suddenly go down for some reason, is there an established procedure to assess the problem and fix it? Yes. So great point. Okay. So when you are, in the internet-driven sales system, I'm just going to go back here for 1 second. Go to the very top here, and I'm just going to show you this. And I'm just going to go to this slide. So when you see a rank going down, you have to hit all of these cylinders properly. Okay. So with SEO, you're going to need these things. You're going to need one, this is like the branding part, right? So what I mean by that is we're going to look at the branding of the site and make sure your messages are on point. That's the first part. But you need a website that converts, that's of value, where there's information there. You need every page to be SEO'd properly. You need the hosting. You need to have the social media channels set up properly and branded properly and posting regularly on them. You need citation and maps. You need all of those properly set up. You need to be creating authority through your blog, which is a good tool for that is webinars. You need to be building authority through backlink building, which is a whole nother webinar. You need to have an effective web funnel that has different embedded parts on it that further enhances your authority. And also need to be getting people back to your site through marketing automation and email marketing. And you have to make sure you're getting referrals, and you have to make sure that you're getting reviews on all the major review sites. And then once those are all done, you explore paid advertising if you need it, and they also have to track, measure, and quantify it. So the reason I brought this up to answer this question here is this is the established procedure. You have to hit all of these cylinders. If I look at a company and they have, one review or no reviews, we know we have to get them a stable flow of reviews. And if you hit all of these things properly, you have no choice but to dominate. And if you do one and you miss one or two, you're going to see your rank go down, and there's no easy way to fix it without doing them all properly. And each one of these things took our team many years to learn. So each one of these was like a 2-3 year process to actually even understand how to do that. It even existed, A, and then B, how to do it properly in a white hat manner, meaning you're creating backlinks, you're making real backlinks, you're not going to a link farm and getting them that way. So that's the answer to that. This is the procedure. You want to make sure all of these cylinders, if you're looking at an engine, we're a gas, oil, diesel, you want to make sure all the cylinders are firing. You don't have 2 or 3 cylinders that are out of whack and the engine's knocking and it's just not working properly. You want to make sure everything's working properly and every one of these is hit properly. And that's why I recommend going with an agency who has experience in it, because it will take someone, it took us 25 years to learn all this. It might take them 5, even if they did a quick job, it might take them 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But in that 2, 3, 4, 5 years, a company will lose the opportunity cost of being at number one. And instead of making $400,000 or $500,000 a month off of their website, they'll make nothing. And the web guy will be talking, or web girl, whoever it is, web company, will be talking about how they're trying to learn this, how they're trying to implement the referral and the review campaign. It's just this for us, we turn it on and it works immediately. So yeah, this is that procedure. All right, I'm going to answer one more question here. I got one coming through here. How does SEO engineered hosting impact mobile-friendly design? Can you elaborate on how SEO engineered hosting ensures a responsive and mobile-friendly web design? Okay, yeah, well, so, I mean, that's a good question, but we develop sites with what's called mobile responsiveness. So when you squeeze the site, it creates the mobile version. And on that mobile version, all the photos are optimized and the layout is optimized to one column. And what happens in that mobile responsiveness, WordPress, through the programming of WordPress, one of the beauties of WordPress is that it can remove certain aspects and add certain aspects for a mobile responsive design. So when it squeezes, it's the same website, same domain name, same page, but different information shows up for the mobile version. So what that means is when it goes to mobile, you want to code it in a way that's super lean and optimized. So you want the image, you don't want to have a 2 megabyte image on a mobile page. You want to have a 70 kilobyte image that's high resolution enough to see crisply, but not a full print image at 300 dpi, digital pixels per inch. I don't want to say anything confusing, but a 72 digital pixels per inch is the standard for web, for screens, and 300 dpi digital pixels per inch is the standard for print. You don't need to have a print resolution image on a mobile site, but you code and program it in a way that's super lean and make sure that when it's mobile, low loading time things are coming up, because mobile bandwidth isn't as fast as desktop bandwidth usually. So yes, so what you do is code it in that way, make sure it's mobile responsive in that way, and then B, have it on the back-end lightning fast server. So the only thing that would limit them is their own bandwidth. They're not being limited by your server bandwidth. And I know for just my own experience doing different streaming services and stuff like that, when you click between something, you're like, wait a minute, I'm on a gigabit bandwidth connection. Why is it taking 20 seconds for this like movie to load or whatever it is? It's because the server environment is slow. The server environment is slow. Same with the website. You go to a website. Why is it taking forever to download this website? Because it's the server environment slow. The website is probably poorly coded. And the result of that is not only a poor customer experience, but having Google push you way down because you're not doing things correctly, which is a part of this internet-driven sales system. So, hey, a few minutes over here, but I wanted to really thank you for your time today. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm Thomas Roman with Gas, Oil, Diesel SEO. And again, if you want to go get our book, and our whole team worked on this for many years, the internet-driven sales system for fuel delivery and pumping companies. You can go to Amazon and get it. Just search the title, or you can email me at thomas.roman@gasoildierselseo.com. I'll send you out a PDF, and I'll send you out a hard copy. We're getting those in next week, the author copies. So we just got this live a couple of days ago, but I'll be happy to send you a free copy in the mail. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless you and your family. Thank you again. Bye-bye.